Hello and welcome. I'm James Baxter, a student at California Baptist University, and my presentation today will be on the fate of lactate. So, lactate is a commonly misunderstood byproduct of the body. It has been demonized by a lot of people as the cause of fatigue or pain buildup during extensive exercise. And this has actually been proven to not be true, and that lactate has been shown to be actually quite useful within the body. There are several benefits of lactate. Lactate has the ability to associate with hydrogen ions. Therefore, it has the ability to maintain pH within the cells. Once it interacts with oxygen, it is able to return to the state of pyruvate, which we'll get to how it left being pyruvate in a few moments. And then it also acts as a hormonal control to maintain homeostasis within the body. All right, so to know where lactate comes from, we have to start with the original molecule, and this is glucose. It is a 6-carbon molecule. Molecules form as C6H12O6, and during oxidative aerobic use, it breaks down into two different pyruvate molecules here, and we've learned previously that that goes on and is used in other forms, but we're not going to be covering that right now, so we're just going to go and cover when it is being created in a oxygen depleted area environment. And what happens there is that it turns into lactate. And here are two different molecules of lactate. They are identical, but there's two of them formed because as the glucose breaks down, it forms these two molecules. After it becomes pyruvate, it turns into lactate. All right. So lactate can also associate and dissociate with hydrogen ions. On the left side here, we can see the example of lactate, where its chemical formula is C3H5O3. And then on the right, there's lactic acid, which is C3H6O3. In the top right corner, you can see it is associated with a hydrogen ion and changed its chemical structure. The body uses lactate. Lactic acid is there, but it is not utilized the way that lactate is. All right, so once we are creating lactate in the body due to the lack of oxygen, it starts to build up inside of the muscle fibers. And in order to disperse that and decrease the concentration, we need to use what's called the lactate shuttle. And what that does is it moves the lactate to different parts of the body. So one option is that it can be transferred to non-utilized muscle fibers. So as certain muscles are firing, other muscle fibers around them aren't necessarily being activated. Another thing that can be done is it can be brought to cardiac muscle, or it can be brought to the liver, or even to the brain for utilization. So first, the skeletal muscle fibers. Historically, and still to this day, many people believe that lactate is a source of pain and fatigue during extensive exercise. This has been proven to not be true. It actually is able to be used as an energy source, and even is beneficial to the body instead of being a detriment to it. It is produced with the glycolytic fibers, and when we reintroduce oxygen, there's an opportunity for that lactate to return to pyruvate and then be used by the mitochondria for ATP production. One of the benefits of training is the ability to first transfer more oxygen, and with more oxygen uptake, we're able to deliver more oxygen to the muscles, which require that to prevent anaerobic respiration or the convergence of lactate back into pyruvate. Second location that it is shuttled to is the cardiac muscle. This is the heart, and what is great about that is that the heart is an extremely oxidative type of muscle fiber, and it is able to turn that lactate back into pyruvate and use it as an energy source. It has actually been found by a study done by Stanley in 1991 that the heart is able to utilize lactate as well at the same rate as it does with pyruvate. Another opportunity or location of where the shuttle can go is to the liver. The liver has a special function called gluconeogenesis. This is a combination of three different words. Gluco, which is for our glucose, neo is new, and genesis is creation. So what it does is it creates a new glucose molecule. The process where this is done is the Cori cycle. In order to do that, the liver takes and transfers the lactate into pyruvic acid and then combines it to form new glucose as its final product. This is found by Kenny, Wilmore, and Costello. You'll see the references later. All right, the brain. The brain, historically it was believed that the brain only functioned off of pyruvate and sugar. So recently it's been found out and proven that it is quite often the brain uses lactate as a source of energy. In a study done by Avase, Nikui, Shaibani, and Esmaili Mahani in 2014, they found that in diabetics who were in hypoglycemic conditions, that the monocarboxylate transporters were upregulated because of the presence of lactate and was able to more rapidly utilize lactate as an energy source. Some of the references I've listed here to show you where the information came from on this. If you have any questions or if you're unable to fully read this in the presentation, I will gladly forward the reference list to you. I just want to say thank you for your time, and feel free to send me any questions, comments, or anything else that I can do to help you out. And just thank you, and God bless.